have a friend I want to give a proposition to. Let's see if he's available. What's up? Jay Cruz, man, how are you doing?
Hanging in, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Hey, I have a proposition for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You got one of these, right?
Maybe.
You got one. I've seen it on your channel. You got a channel. I got a channel. I'm thinking we do a collab. I'll make a preset. I'll start making a preset. I'll dial in the amps and get it sounding good. And then you take it from there and dial in some wet effects, whatever you would do. Get creative, do what you always do. Give us that J. Cruz sound. What do you think about that?
I think it sounds great.
Okay.
Definitely down for that.
Okay, then we'll take that preset and maybe put it in the Expanse pack for some of these people.
Sounds good.
Sounds good?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Dude, that's awesome. All right, I'll send you a preset half finished and you'll send it back finished.
I'm already waiting. I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, man. All right, let's do it. All right, let's get right into it. I went ahead and started making a preset, and let me show you what I've done to it. I chose an amp called the Grammatico GSG. It's one of the latest ones that came out. I went ahead and dialed in some cabs. Now let's talk about the cabs first. First of all, awesome update with the cabs. If you don't know, with the 3.6 update, I believe it was, we have this new visualized cab simulator thing. Instead of just dragging around these parameters, you can play with them in real time and drag them around, which I think is really cool. Another thing, instead of just using the cabs that came with the Grammatico, which we could do, I played around with some different cabs instead. So I chose a 4x12 Mandarin EM with this microphone, that cab. It has a really punchy mid-range that I liked. But I also wanted to add some clarity on top, so then I chose this 4x12 Greenback 25, and I put the dynamic mic right in the center of the cone so I could get a lot of that top end. But then I also made some cuts. I brought the high cut down a bit, and I left the high cut off of this one. I think that's all I did to the cabs. I'm not panning anything, they're just being blended together. But this is what it sounds like with the stock amp, and then I'll show you what I did to make the amp sound a little better, in my opinion. So that's the stock amp. Now let me show you what I did to it to bring a little more life to it. I just love that. It growls. It has enough top end. But it has that mid punch to it that I think would sit really well in a mix. Two other things that I've done is I've added a compressor. So this is what it sounds like without the compressor. Kind of just evens everything out. And then I went ahead and turned on the input gate. I love that. All right, now before I send this preset over to J. Cruz to dial in the wet effects, which I'm really looking forward to, I want to show you one more thing that I've done to this preset. I noticed on his channel, a lot of times he is playing a telly, and I'm dialing in this preset with my Reverend Gil Paris Natural. It's got humbuckers in it. I also have a single coil in the middle, but I dialed this in with my humbuckers. But let me switch guitars. Let me show you what I did to make this preset sound good either way. So what I've done is I've gone to foot switch 1 and assigned some parameter changes for both the treble and the presence. The treble and the presence are up when I use my humbucker, and the presence goes all the way down to 0, and treble goes down to 2.4 when I'm using my telly. And I feel like it helps bring it tames it back a little bit without losing the clarity of the telly. I'm not trying to make my telly sound like my Reverend, but I want the amp to complement the guitar I'm playing. I still want the telly sound, but let you hear what it sounds like when it's dialed in for the Reverend. It's not bad, and it might sound fine in a live room, but it's just a little top heavy. So now with the treble and presence backed off. think that sounds much better. All right, J. Cruz, I'm sending it back your way. Dial in those wet effects so they're just really good. We'll see what kind of preset we can come up with.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? First and foremost, thank you, Jimmy, for having me on the channel and all of the Hey Worship Leader family. I am honored to be on here, but let's jump right into this thing. Here's the preset as it stands, how Jimmy has made it so far. Got a little bit of hair on it. I don't mind that at all. But what we're going to do is add just a little bit of the J. Cruz project flavor onto this thing, aka some delays and reverb. And I think we'll just keep it at that. We're going to start off by adding the transistor tape delay. I've tweaked it just a little bit so that it could warm up slightly and also kind of be lower in the mix and higher in the decay. But of course, delay without reverb doesn't really make sense. So I'm going to add 2 reverbs on here to spice this thing up. We're going to start with the dynamic hall reverb. Now, because I'm going to be stacking reverbs in this particular situation, I'm going to use this one as the always on, less ambient version. Then what we're going to do is quickly turn on the glitz reverb so we can get a much more ambient sound. So here's the glitz on its own. Now let's quickly hear all 3 of those sounds stacked together. Remember, the key here is that though it is an ambient sound, it's not saturated. It's actually a little bit low in the mix and higher in the decay, creating a pad-like sound to sit underneath our tone. Now there is one more slight tweak that I want to make to this entire preset, Jimmy, if you would allow me to do so. This amp actually comes equipped with a mid switch that you can turn on or off, and I kind of like the way it sounds on. So I want to turn it on so you can hear what that would sound like as well. All right, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Jimmy, so you can finish off this preset. Thank you, everyone, for having me, and I hope you enjoy.
Dude, that was awesome. Thank you so much, J. Cruz. Hey, everybody, if you want to get a hold of this preset, I have just put it in the EXPANSE pack. Now, if you don't know what the EXPANSE pack is, it's an ever-growing collection of presets for all the Line 6 Helix and Pod Go devices. So Helix, HX Stomp XL, HX Effects, and Pod Go. You buy once, only purchase one time, you get updates free for life, just like this one. If you're already an EXPANSE pack member, go log in, your update's already there. Go check it out. If you guys like this kind of content, let me know down below. Let me know what you want to see next. Also like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.